I've been reading this book, Copenhagenize, The Definitive Guide to Global Bicycle Urbanism, which is really fascinating because it talks all about cycling in urban environments and bike commuting. It's filled with all kinds of different data and it has a ton of just beautiful photos as well. I swear there's some photos in here. Chapter 8's my favorite because it talks all about different myths that people believe when it comes to bike commuting. And myth number 8 says, I have to build infrastructure for those few people cycling now. And it talks all about the myth that some people believe when cities start building bike networks and bike paths. They say, why are we going to build and spend all this money on bike paths when there's so few cyclists? Isn't it a waste of time? There's only going to be a few people riding on this new bike path that we as a city just spent a lot of money on. Which is very relevant to me in my city because they just built out a bike path in a section of my city. And not everybody is a huge fan. It costs money, it took a lot of time to build, and now it's beautiful. But here's some of the things that people were saying. One person said that it's been under construction for months with a dozen people, tons and tons of concrete. It had to be easily 75,000 plus, assuming it's over 100K. Been open for a week or two and I was working down there the entire time. Have never once seen a bike on it, not once. Yay, bike network. Another person said, how much bike travel are they really expecting up the hill? It already has sidewalks for pedestrians. Is it really worth losing a car travel lane so a few bikers can have a designated lane for travel? I would estimate the road gets more traffic in a 15-minute time span than bike traffic over the course of the entire day. And I've heard similar things from other people. The city put out an infographic and on it said adding in physically separated bike lanes in other cities across the United States has increased ridership by 21 to 171%. So they're saying, if you build this path, the riders will come. People will start to use it. In Copenhagenize, there's a quote that says every city has at least 25% of the population who will take to the wheel, as it once was called, if infrastructure and traffic calming are implemented. In other words, they're saying that if you build these bike paths, the riders will eventually come. With that said, let me show you the bike path that they just built in my city. Man, it looks good. They got some beautiful trees, some plants up there. I mean, this bike path is really appeasing on the eyes. One of the cool things is you've got this super solid fence right here with cabling and fences just to protect cyclists from cars and just make sure nobody hops up over this pretty steep curb. I don't think a car is getting over this thing unless it was going really fast. And it also prevents pedestrians walking across and getting in the way. You can't have people walking on it. It's for bikes only, which is kind of nice because you don't have to dodge, pedestrians or anything. This whole path is literally just for bicycle commuters and people riding their bikes, and that's it. The system they have is if you want to turn, you got to use the crosswalks to go to the left or the right. And then bicyclists yield to pedestrians, so if anybody's walking along, you got to dodge them. And then you can go through on the signal, and there's actually a very own little bike light right there with a bike symbol on it to tell you when to stop, when to yield, and when to go, which is pretty neat. Well, I've been biking on this little bike path for maybe a little under an hour now, and I've only seen one other cyclist and just talked with him for a little bit, and he told me that I'm the only other cyclist he's seen using the bike path, which is a little unfortunate. It's only been open for less than a month, but I'm hoping over time more people will start using this bike path and giving bike commuting a try. It's so safe with these guardrails and a clean path. It's really easy to get on and ride. Overall, the bike path is sweet. It's nice. I can't wait to ride on it some more. I'll find it pretty useful, although it's not quite in an area that I ride my bike around that much. With that said, it's really short. It's not really connected to too many other bike paths in the area, so I'm hoping the city will spend more money to build it out and really create a bicycle path network. It's a shame that it's not being used that much right now, but it's only a month in, and I have high hopes that there'll be more riders using it over time. Hopefully I'll do another update on this bike path, and I can let you guys know if it actually increases the amount of bike riders in my city by the creation of this path. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Is your city putting in bike paths? What do you think about them? Do you think it works? Do you think it brings in more bike commuters? Tell me in the comments. As always, like and subscribe. Peace and happy pedaling.